In the heart of a bustling city, nestled in a cozy apartment overlooking the skyline, lived Lily Thompson, a young woman with a passion for the supernatural. Armed with her camera and an insatiable curiosity, Lily had carved out a niche for herself in the world of YouTube, creating content that explored the mysteries of the unknown. Her channel, Beyond the Veil, had garnered a loyal following of fans who eagerly awaited each new upload, hungry for the thrills and chills that only the supernatural could provide. From haunted houses to abandoned asylums, Lily fearlessly ventured into the darkest corners of the world in search of the next great adventure. But as her channel grew in popularity, so too did the dangers that lurked behind the screen. Strange occurrences began to plague Lily's videos and explain shadows in the background, mysterious voices whispering in the darkness, and chilling EVP recordings that sent shivers down her spine. At first, Lily brushed off the incidents as nothing more than glitches in the editing process, but as they grew more frequent and more sinister, she couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong, that she was not alone in the darkness. One evening, as Lily sat alone in her apartment editing her latest video, she received an email from an anonymous sender. The message was short and cryptic, containing only a single word: join. Intrigued, Lily clicked on the email and found herself staring at a link to a website she had never seen before, a website shrouded in darkness and filled with cryptic symbols and arcane imagery. With a sense of trepidation, Lily clicked on the link, and as she did, a chill ran down her spine. The website was like nothing she had ever seen before, a labyrinth of twisted corridors and hidden chambers, each filled with secrets waiting to be uncovered. And at the center of it all was a message written in blood-red letters that seemed to pulse with a life of their own. "Welcome, Lily," the message read. "We've been expecting you." With a sinking feeling in the pit of her stomach, Lily realized that she had stumbled upon something far more sinister than she could have ever imagined, that the shadows lurking behind the screen were not just glitches in the editing process, but something far more malevolent. Determined to uncover the truth, Lily delved deeper into the depths of the website, following its twisted corridors and unraveling its dark secrets one by one. But with each revelation, she felt a sense of unease growing within her, a sense that she was treading on dangerous ground, and that the forces she was dealing with were far beyond her control. And then, one night, as she sat alone in her apartment, she received another email from the anonymous sender, a message containing a chilling ultimatum. "Join us, Lily," the message read. "Join us, or suffer the consequences." With a sense of dread gnawing at her insides, Lily knew that she had no choice but to comply, that the shadows behind the screen were closing in around her, and that she was running out of time. And so, with trembling hands, she clicked on the link in the email and found herself staring at a contract written in blood and bound with ancient sigils, its words pulsing with a dark energy that seemed to seep into her very soul. With a heavy heart, Lily signed her name on the dotted line, sealing her fate with a single stroke of the pen. And as she did, she felt a cold hand close around her heart, pulling her deeper into the darkness than she had ever dared to go. As the days passed, Lily found herself consumed by a sense of dread, a sense that she was no longer in control of her own destiny, but was merely a pawn in a much larger game. The shadows that had once lurked behind the screen now seemed to surround her on all sides, their whispers growing louder with each passing moment. And then, one night, as she sat alone in her apartment, she received a message from the anonymous sender, a message containing a chilling directive. "Tonight, Lily," the message read. "Tonight, the ritual begins." With a sinking feeling in the pit of her stomach, Lily knew that she had no choice but to comply, that the forces she had unleashed were far beyond her control, and that she was powerless to stop them. And so, with a sense of resignation, she gathered her camera and ventured out into the night, following the instructions laid out in the email with a sense of dread gnawing at her insides. As she made her way to the abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of town, she could feel a presence watching her from the shadows, a presence filled with malice and intent, and she knew in that moment that she had made a terrible mistake. As Lily entered the abandoned warehouse, she found herself surrounded by a circle of hooded figures, their faces obscured by shadows as they chanted in a language she could not understand. In the center of the circle stood a figure cloaked in darkness, its eyes gleaming with malevolent intent. With a sinking feeling in the pit of her stomach, Lily realized that she had stumbled upon something far more sinister than she could have ever imagined, that the forces she had unleashed were not just glitches in the editing process, but something far more malevolent. And as the ritual reached its climax, Lily felt a surge of power coursing through her veins, a power that consumed her from within, twisting her mind and soul until there was nothing left but darkness. And as she stood alone in the abandoned warehouse, surrounded by the echoes of her own screams, she knew in that moment that she had paid the ultimate price for her curiosity, that she had crossed a line from which there could be no return. And as the shadows closed in around her, swallowing her whole, she whispered a single word, a word filled with regret and despair. "Forgive me." But there was no one left to hear her plea, for she was alone in the darkness, trapped forever in the shadows behind the screen.